to, and you will want to next week, go ahead and grab it. We are going to page 254, and we're going to walk through this. If you want to have it open, I will clearly walk you through it as well. 254 is the panoramas. And we're going to need the downloads that we got earlier from chapter 8 eventually. So let's go into Bridge, and let's navigate to wherever you have the pictures of chapter 8 downloaded. So it's PSCC, I hope this is the right one. I have a bad feeling this is the wrong one. Huh, sort of. So wherever you downloaded that folder, inside that chapter 8 folder, there's a subfolder called Pano. And just get it to the point where you can see those.
Is there a way to refresh Bridge? That's 6. I have 8. Neither of them. It's right there. You want to get it here?
It's in the
They're not in downloads or on
That's so
desktop,
many chapter 8s.
aren't they? Or where did you put them?
This should be it. This is just in my downloads folder. Wait,
What?
Once you on your flash drive.
How did they get here? Do you know where to go and get them?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how they get that. I never moved them.
Okay, so however, wherever you have them, I don't know, but you need to navigate to them in Bridge so that we can see that they have renamed these panel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they all end in .dng. Who remembers what .dng is? Ding. No. D is digital, yes. Yep. Digital negative. It's the generic camera raw that anything can open. So CRW is what Canons do. NEF is what Nikons do. This is just the generic name. When you look at it in Bridge, do you guys see the little icon up here already?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay. What that means is that these have already been tweaked in Adobe Camera Raw. Typically, I'm glad that didn't do anything, we would get dark files to start with. So what we're going to do in this process is before we merge them into a panorama, we're going to fix them in Camera Raw to get the right color and contrast before we go and make the stitch together. So that's what we're doing it in that process. So what we're going to do is we're going to Control A to select all of them. And then we're going to hit enter, and that's going to load them all in Camera Raw. Notice it stacks them all on the left. This is the first one we're dealing with. And I want you to play around with the sliders on just this one to make it look how you want it to look. So maybe bump up the exposure a little bit to make it a little brighter. Maybe bump up the contrast to give it a little bit more bite. Maybe pull back the highlights a little bit to get some more detail in the bright spots. Maybe open up the shadows, pull those to the right. Don't click anything yet. Just tweak this one. To make sure that this is applying to all of these images, because we want them tweaked in the same way, we can do this select all, and then pull and make sure they're all selected as we pull our sliders. So that's going to be tweaking all of these images equally. You want to make sure that they're all selected. If for some reason just one was selected like this, you would have to keep rotating through to fix them all, and you don't want to do that. You want to have all of them selected while you're tweaking your different settings.
It doesn't select them all. Are you selecting them all? I didn't select all.
Click one of them, and then Command A will select all. Okay, so get those how you think looks good or reasonable. We can always do some more tweaking at the end, but we kind of want Whatever you are applying to one is going to apply to all of them. Don't say done, don't do anything from this point. We have to make some changes here. When you're happy with them, there are 3 options at the bottom: cancel, open, and done. Open images will bring them all into Photoshop and open them there. And we could do that and run the photo merge from there, but it would take a few more steps. So what we're going to just say is done. And that is going to take us back into Bridge. But all 5 of these are going to be tweaked and improved, hopefully. And we know that they've been tweaked because we see that little icon up here reminding us that we've done something to them. So you can run HDR and photo merge from Photoshop, and you can run it from Bridge. So we're going to do it running it from Bridge. So up here in, whoops, Bridgie, where did you go? What did I just do? Back up. Come on. Okay, in Bridge, Command A to select all of them. Click on one and Command A or Shift click all of them, whatever you need to do. Get all 5 of them selected. And then under the Tools menu up here, don't tell me this changed. Good Lord, it's changed.
Mine's different.
I don't even have
Mine is like Photoshop.
Yeah, that's what I want to see.
I've got what she has. Don't have much.
What version are you in 2019? If you guys go to the words Adobe Bridge up here and click on the About.
I have a 2018.
So those of you that are on 2019 like me,
I'm on 19.
I'm
Mine
on
18,
18.
but mine looks like yours. Doesn't make any sense. Are your other programs updated?
yeah?
I'm on 20.
Okay, so on some of you, you do see the word Photoshop and it flies out. Okay,
For tools?
Tools,
Oh.
Photoshop.
Yeah.
What is that?
Oh, for God's sakes, why am I the only one? All right, let's stay where you are. Let me try to reboot this. So I'm in an older version, but it's going to behave at least. So with all of them selected, you're going to say Tools, Photoshop, and then we're going to choose Photo Merge. Okay? From here,
It's really busy with a task. Would you like to cue this command?
yes, I don't know what your other task is. Just do my task, please. Okay. If you get that, say yes, let's move on, and hopefully this pops up as your next option. So it loaded the 5 photos in chronological order. It happens to be backwards, but that's okay. And of the layouts over here, the option that we want to pick is that first one that says Auto. You can see kind of how it's going to make other versions. If it were a perspective, like I said, where you're so close to the stuff in front of you and then farther away from the stuff left and right, it would stack them like this and there would be dead space wherever you see blue. Here, it's going to give you a full, as close to a full frame as you can. So from here, these are the files that we want to use, and they showed up. And, whoops, I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to make sure that this was good. So all of our files are here. Down at the bottom, a couple of things we want to look at. Blend images together, absolutely. Vignette removal, click on that one. So vignetting is when the edges of your image get a little dark, especially like skies tend to get a little dark on the edges of your pictures. And if they had to do that on all 4 of them, if they all had dark edges around the skies, it would be really weird. So click on that vignette removal. And from there, we're going to say, okay. And this is where the cool stuff kicks in. And as you watch it, hopefully we don't have any crashes, we're in a new pop-up window that is Photo Merge. And little by little, it's going to do things. You can see at this point I have 5 different layers, so it took all 5 images and put them on a separate layer. Now it's figuring out how to make the total canvas size and how to arrange them on the layer, how to overlap them, and how to mask out parts that are duplicated from one picture to the next. Do you see where this would have been hard to do by hand? Not nearly as much fun as letting your computer do it. So, that's terrible. Why did mine get so archy?
This literally looks like. Do you have to like crop it afterwards then?
Yes.
Okay.
But yours,
It's like, wow.
yours, the light poles are all standing up correct. Why is my light pole
Yeah,
having
yours
such a
is
problem?
not good.
Honestly, I'm having so much fun giving this demo today. But as I look out, yours looks good. Here's the cool thing. Look over here at the layers. See how much black is not being used, white is being used. Look at my picture, number 4 was hardly even used. Just a couple of spots were used on it. Picture 5 was used a lot, 1 was used a lot, 3 a little bit. So it's kind of interesting how it masks out what it doesn't need. Now, if I look at yours, which all look great, what you really need to do is now crop it down so that you don't have problem areas. I can't believe I have such a crummy one. Could not use the red eye removal tool? Really? I would hope not. That's not anywhere on my to-do list. So let me just show you using my horrible example. I'm going to clear out my ratios. I don't want that. So I can pull down, for crying out loud, clear. I can pull down and only use, if I want to, the edges that are inside of my photo. This is so bad. However, I'm losing a lot by doing this. So if I wanted to crop it and have no extra work, I could do what I have shown here. But in your case, as you guys go and crop that, really, I'm looking at yours, the sky up at the top right and left could easily be filled in. And maybe it could even fill in some of these areas down here. Gosh, I can't believe how crummy this is. So if I were to say, you know what, I want this building over here, and I want this building over here. And I want all of this side of the building that I can. This is what I want. I see that I have problem areas, but I'm going to deal with those in a minute. My glasses here. Ugh. All right, so from cropping, we're going to hit yes, we want to crop, but leave some dead space around here. So there is my new cropped image. All right, the next thing that we need to do is seems to me we need to flatten this, and I'm not seeing those directions. I'm doing this all from memory. So right now, all of these dead areas are something that we're going to want to fill in. So I'm going to flatten my image down. So I'm going to do layer, either merge layers or flatten image. Either one is going to do the same thing. So flatten image takes it down to one final product with some dead spaces here, right? Now we're going to use content-aware fill, which we have used in the past, and we're going to select these areas that don't have anything in them. So I'm going to use either the magic wand tool, which is going to be easy now because it's white, but we might have some problems with it. All right, magic wand is nested under the quick selection. Either way, it's going to do the same thing. So as I click on that, it's going to put the marching ants around that area. But watch what happens when I click over here. There's too much white in the sky, and it didn't just select this part. So that's a little bit confusing. What we can do is change the tolerance and make it a lower tolerance. And then we can also say up here, contiguous means that these have to be touching. So if I click over here on the one on the right, only these pixels are going to be selected. If I turn off that and I change my tolerance down, I'll go down to maybe 5 and try again. Still too much. This white cloud is going to be a problem, I have a feeling. All right, that's the best I can get with a tolerance of 1. So it's selected this area, down here, here, and here. Had we flattened it to a transparent background instead of white, it probably would have been easier because it wouldn't have confused these white pixels. But now we need to clean this up by letting that cloud stay in. So you can use another tool and add those back. So what you should have in general is marching ants around your dead spot areas. Before we sample it and tell it to do content-aware fill, we need to give it a little bit more data to understand. So we're going to go under the Select menu, and we're going to choose Modify, and we're going to do Expand, and we're going to expand it by, I'm just going to try 4 pixels and see what that does. Might have to zoom in a little. This is a high-res image, I believe. So I'll do that again. Select, Modify, Expand. I'll try 10 pixels. And what you can see if you look close is that the marching ants went 10 pixels into the actual sky and into other things. It expanded into that. That's going to give it something to sample when it tries to do content-aware fill. So from here, we're going to choose Edit Fill. And then the default choice should be content aware, and we're going to say OK. And then we're going to let it think for a little bit, and it's going to attempt to fill all those dead spaces based on the sampling around it. Skies, it usually gets really good. Where you might see some glitches are over by the buildings on the left and the right, and you might need to manually go in and fix those. Or every time you do this, edit, fill, content aware, it regenerates a whole new version of it. It tries again. It's random. So if you don't like the first one, you can do that process again and try it again. I'm just having all sorts of fun here today. So yours worked. How come yours didn't work?
No, mine is because my
Oh, you're thinking too?
My
Okay.
selection's been thinking for like 3 minutes. So.
But those of you that did it, do you see how it's good, right? Or at least it's an excellent starting point. It's a heck of a lot better than doing this all by hand. So content aware fill, there, I'm finally done. Did a good job up in my sky. It actually did a decent job down here where it had to guess how to finish out these bottom arches based on my cropping. And it didn't even do a bad job over here on the leaning buildings. So pretty decent, right? Content aware fill. All right, from here, deselect if you have your marching ants going anywhere. If there's any distortion, which I clearly have a boatload of, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go into the filter menu, and we're going to choose the camera raw filters. So go up to that, and that's going to launch camera raw again. But everything we do in it is going to be done as a non-destructive filter instead. So something that's in here are the lens corrections. So we need to go into, I believe it's this one. So the icon to the left of the FX is lens correction. And in here, we can play with some of these options. So here's the distortion. You can perhaps fix the distortion that you're seeing from your lens or exaggerate it in a way that you are intending to. Obviously, if I flatten mine out like this and made it less distortion, I'm going to have to do some content-aware filling again. But I can fix that. So whatever point you want with that. And now you can also go into anything else in Camera Raw and say, you know what? I need to fix a little bit more. I need to play with a few more of these sliders. Come on. Are we stuck? Huh. Hopefully you can play with a few more of the sliders, and then at the end, oh, there they are. There's just a huge delay. Hit OK, and you've tweaked your final picture as well. So 5 pictures merged together as a panorama. Okay.